The evolution of marketing, or also known as the history of marketing, as you see on the x-axis at the top of this visual, you see 1900s, then you got the 1930s, 1950s, 1970s, 1990s. So let's go all the way back in time into the 1900s. And guess what this picture is? Well, it's a picture of a Model T Ford assembly line. Ford was known of saying you can have any color you want as long as it's black. Well, that's what the production model was all about. And basically, if you made something, it sold itself. So really, it was just a time of produce as much of something as you can because, there's no competition and you could sell it fairly easily as long as it was good quality. Then came the vacuum era. Think of, many of you weren't born yet, but there started being competition. And so what you're seeing in this picture is someone showing somebody else how to use a product or service. And thus came in the sales concept era. That was done between the mid-1920s to early 1950s, but there are still companies that do this today. Think about Cutco or other companies that sell from your home, Tupperware parties, makeup companies, things like that. But as you see, advertising started in this time. You started seeing billboards and things like that, and greater competition. Next up comes the Mad Men. If anybody has seen the TV show Mad Men, it's going to be exactly the next marketing concept, which is called the marketing concept era. And so this is the first time where marketing really focused on the customer's needs. What does our customer want? And then let's build it. So for example, if we were building a vacuum cleaner, instead of just building the best vacuum cleaner that we know how, we would look at the customer and say, well, what does the customer want? Is it the grip of the vacuum? Is it the suction power? Is it how easy it is to dispose of your dust? So they started looking at the person and delivering value and by doing that, getting their needs met. And some other things here, as you can see, in the yellow, commit total organization to delivering superior products and customer service. So this is the first time where they had to think about customer service, how they would acquire the product, how they would get any kind of additional support for the product after they sold it. And then this is the first time where they really looked at their portfolio of products. So for example, if I manufactured 3 different vacuums, there might be one of those vacuums that aren't selling so well, or I don't make a lot of money on. So this is where companies started looking at their whole catalog or portfolio of products they were selling to focus on the ones that were doing the best for them. So car manufacturers, if there's certain cars like convertibles that weren't selling, they might focus more on their sedans that aren't convertibles, or focus on larger vehicles. They would really look at their portfolio. All right, the next one is the societal marketing era. And all these eras will be a little different in your textbook. There's a few different names for this, but to me it doesn't matter that you remember the different eras names. It's more about that you understand the general idea of the evolution or the history of marketing. So far we've been through the production model, we've been through the sales model, we've been through the marketing concept model. And then comes societal marketing. You have companies like The Body Shop who don't test on animals. All of their ingredients, or a lot of them, are organic. So sustainability, giving back to the earth, being transparent as a company, letting people know, how do you manufacture? Do you pay your employees well? This is the societal marketing where it wasn't just about business. The marketers also focused on the impact of their companies. And then lastly, we have the customer relationship era, and I forget what our textbook calls this one, but it's it's a similar idea that it's all about data and the technology era, where companies now collect data. They collect how often you buy things, what you like to buy. They're taking a lot of information from you and then taking that information and turning it into better products and services to give to you. So you might be asking yourself, if we go back to the first slide, all these eras, if you look here, still have arrows pointing to the right, to the future, because many companies today will use a combination of these ideas. For example, Mary Kay, They do have a sales approach. They also do a lot of marketing. They do have some societal marketing to give back to their community. And they absolutely have engaged in customer relationship marketing with, building profiles, collecting information from their customers, sending things on your birthday. So as you see today, from what we've learned in the past, we've borrowed a lot of these great ideas that have come to become the new way of marketing. So there you go. That's a brief history or evolution of marketing.